Welcome in, everybody, to the JAKIB Halftime Show. Philadelphia Eagles have the lead here at halftime, 14-10 over the Carolina Panthers after a gift was delivered on a silver platter by Bryce Young for his first mistake in a little bit. But, boy, a bad time for him to turn it over. Good for the Eagles. They take advantage of it and get into the end zone here at the end of the half to take the lead on the Panthers 14-10, and now they're set up. They will get the ball after the halftime, and they can potentially get that highly coveted move to go 2-for-1. You get the touchdown at the end of the half, you get the ball back, and boom, you can put up another touchdown. So the Birds could, get the ball back here after the half, go down, score again, and have this team right where they want them. But, boy, I got to say, everybody, you can't be too excited about what you're seeing from the Eagles today. It took a bad turnover there, as I just mentioned, for the offense to get going. You come out, you drop a nothing burger again in the first quarter, and I know people don't want to make a lot of it. It's a problem, and this is what I hate the most about it. You look at the first two drives of the Eagles. Now they scored the touchdown on their third drive, 10 plays, 70 yards, a good drive there. First drive, though, you start the game with an 8-yard run from Saquon Barkley that ultimately was taken back from a Lane Johnson penalty. Then you don't run the ball with Saquon Barkley again on that drive. Next drive, same thing. Starting back, way back at their own, whatever they were starting at their 6-yard line or 10-yard line. Saquon Barkley for 6 yards. Then they go away from it the next two plays and they punt the ball. You have the best running back in the NFL early in games. Why are we not relying on him, especially when we can't get going in the early parts of the game? I don't understand it, and I think it's safe to say we're lucky we're playing the Panthers today, because those are the fears that I think people talk about when you're talking about this team winning late in the year. You shouldn't be keeping this game what it is with the Panthers, and like I said, we're really only talking about a lead right now because of a Bryce Young mistake. So we counted on a mistake from a bad team that ultimately went our way, but it's something you certainly got to clean up. I'll give you guys the stats here at halftime. Jalen Hurts is 9 of 14 for 70 yards and a touchdown. He put it together there at the end of the half with a nice touchdown pass to Devontae Smith. I did not think he looked good in that first half. He didn't look good running the ball either. Now, he had that great play where he broke away from the sack, but the one play where he ran into Lane Johnson, I'm like, what happened there? Normally he always hits that hole crisp. Saquon Barkley was 9 carries for 49 yards. Kenny Gainwell had a nice carry for 20 yards. So interesting stuff there. Let's get to John McMullen at the halftime here, joining me from Lincoln Financial Field. Johnny Mac, good to talk to you, brother. What'd you see there in the first half? Birds have a 14-10 lead.
Yeah, a little bit shaky of a performance, I would say, but the Eagles did a nice job, sort of what they want to do when they defer. You get this score at the end of the first half. Hopefully you come out in the second half and sandwich intermission with scores, and that's the double positive that you always want in that type of situation.
How about that gift, John, from Bryce Young?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a nice thought. They were running a slot fade. That was an interesting play because Cooper DeJean, we talked about how great he's been this year. A little bit of a welcome to the NFL moment in the first half for him with Adam Thielen, who's one of the best route runners in football. Kind of took him to school on 2 occasions, but on that slot fade, Cooper saw it coming. He was pointing it out, alerted everybody else exactly what was coming. Bryce Young overthrew the slot fade, so it was a bad throw, but CJ was able to be over there because he was alerted to it by Cooper, and Christian Parker was just really excited on the sidelines. And as soon as Cooper came over, just tapped him on the helmet, told him to go celebrate. Perfect example why Cooper DeJean's a great rookie. Had some struggles, learned from it, saw what was coming, alerted everybody else, and you get the big play. And the Eagles are able to turn it around, take it offensively, and score. So, that's exactly what you want from a rookie player, learning from your mistakes.
John, another first quarter, no points for the Eagles out there. What'd you make of it?
Yeah, same thing. It's been that way all year. I think we're at, this is the 13th game. The Eagles have generated 6 total points on their opening possessions. I think they got 1 first down. So 18 first downs on those 13 drives. It's been a struggle for them to start games. That continues. Um, they're trying to fix it, but obviously they haven't fixed it. The whole first half was kind of lackadaisical up
Yeah.
until the end. Carolina actually has a slight yardage advantage, 149 to 146. Passing game doesn't get going again. A.J. Brown's first target doesn't come until there's a minute left in the first half. Um, Saquon's running the ball well, and I expect that to continue. And in the third quarter, they'll probably pull away from there. But we're talking about on the pregame show, the passing game is just not there. Um, Looks a little bit better when they use tempo, but if you think about, they had the 127-yard pass to Devontae Smith. That was off schedule. That was
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts extending the play. The 4-yard touchdown was on target, but so much of their big plays are off schedule. Jalen Hurts scramble on that final drive as well, not getting AJ involved. They need to do something about this passing game at some point.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What'd you think of it? What'd you make of Jalen Hurts' performance? I thought it was pretty weak. In fact, John, I thought that first half was going exactly as the Panthers wanted it until they turned the ball over. If you think about it, they had a lead there, 10-7. They had the ball in control, and the way they got there was that they went on that long 14-play drive that ultimately keeps the Eagles' offense on the bench. That's what you want when you're a team like the Panthers. So I thought everything was going to plan for them. But what'd you make of Jalen Hurts in that first half? I was pretty unimpressed, and he almost looked off running the ball too, like that play where he ran into Lane Johnson. I'm like, normally Jalen always hits that hole. Like, what's going on? I don't know. What'd you make of Jalen Hurts' first half?
I thought the off schedule stuff was tremendous. You know, they had him by the shoulder pad. He shook it off at the end
Yeah, that
of
was
the
a big
half.
run there.
18 yards or something of that nature. Wasn't sure how long it was. 15, I guess. So that was a big play on that drive. I mentioned the off schedule play to Devontae. So off schedule good, on schedule bad. Can you live on off schedule? Probably not. Maybe against the Carolina Panthers,
Yeah.
not down the road. So yeah, I don't think it was great in the first half.
John, final thoughts and expectations here for the second half.
I expect the Eagles to pull away. I'm really impressed with Chuba Hubbard, and Carolina will, I assume, continue to try to run the football with him. Um, that gets tougher and tougher as the game wears on. You saw Bryce Young do some nice things, but that was a really poor throw. As much as I give Cooper credit for sniffing it out, the play is still there if you make a good throw, and it was just widely overthrown. So, tough to imagine him sitting back in the pocket, getting Carolina moving the football that way. So I expect the Eagles to load up a little bit in the box to stop Chuba Hubbard. They should slowly pull away.
Good stuff, Johnny Mac. We'll talk to you in the post-game show after the game. All right, my friend?
All right, thanks, Andrew.
All right, good stuff there from Johnny Mac. Joining me here on the JAKIB Halftime Show. A little update from him live at Lincoln Financial Field. Birds have the 14-10 lead in this game. I'll give you guys the stats one more time. Jalen, 9 of 14 for 70 yards. Saquon, 9 carries, 49 yards. And Devontae Smith, your leading receiver in the game, 3 catches, 34 yards, and the touchdown catch at the end of the half there. So a little bit of an iffy start. Let's get to a couple super chats here. Brian Pumper, appreciate your support. He says, Jalen Hurts his cheeks. I told y'all he's horrific. And then he follows up and says, QB has lost all his aura. Jamaican's scamming us right now. Jalen Bumba Hurts is ruining my Sunday as usual. Well, Brian, I'm not going to go as far as you, but I will say he's been unimpressive to me today. It was good to see them drive and get into the end zone there, but that was a gift delivered on a silver platter by Bryce Young. And I don't know why this offense with all these playmakers sometimes just looks so awful. Is it just me or are we winning the game so everyone's like, oh, who cares? We're winning. Like this, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at times. And, John was right. I thought Jalen made a lot of good off-schedule plays, but just doesn't look fully comfortable to me, Jalen Hurts out there. And ultimately, you have that slow start again. So you want to get rid of those. But they ultimately not able to do that this week versus the Panthers. So we'll see how this game closes out. I fully anticipate them to have a great second half. It's what they've done all year long. They don't look great in the first half, and then they come out and they look great in the second half. That's probably what will happen here. And the Birds did play it well there at the end with the touchdown going into halftime. Now they're going to get the ball back. Could be a 14-point swing, and Birds could ultimately, if they score here in the opening drive, have an 11-point lead, and that could be the start of the end for the Carolina Panthers. But overall, one other player, by the way, that sticks out like a sore thumb, and you guys could probably guess who I'm about to talk about. Zach Bond, just unbelievable. Watching him play he is not a flash in the pan good player. This guy is a legitimately good player. Watching him it's really impressive what he's done. His first year as an inside linebacker. I mean, he blitzed today. He got home on the blitz, just filling the gaps. It got Chuba Hubbard behind the line of scrimmage on one play. Just looks so good. So good, man. It's impressive to watch. And then, Dad, you pointed out the other guy, Jalen Carter, just a game wrecker. I mean, you can't block Jalen Carter, but no doubt about it. Those are the two guys on defense that stood out to me. And I'll say it again. We slow starts. One carry on each of the first two drives for the Eagles, for Saquon Barkley. One carry. And they were 6 and 8 yards. Give Saquon Barkley the ball. It's not that hard to fix the first quarter. Run it with Saquon Barkley 60% of your plays in the first quarter. I guarantee you it'll be a better outcome than whatever they're trying to do right now. But overall, we're still in a good spot here. They're probably going to win this game, which is all we need to do. We got to win to keep in contention for that first seed. But a lot to clean up here. And by the way, big shout out to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Big hit in the very first drive of the game on Xavier Legette. What a hit that was. Then he got banged up on a couple plays later on the next drive. Then he comes back and has a big interception for CJ. So that was good stuff there. Appreciate everybody in the chat right now. But don't forget to hit that like button. Quincy says the Hurts hate is crazy. Quincy, I love Jalen Hurts. And to say I'm a hater of him is just an asinine comment. But it just doesn't look that good, Quincy. I mean, you want me to come up here and tell you, oh, we're winning 14-10. The sky is blue and the Eagles are the best team in football. I love you guys. See you on the postgame show. No, that wasn't a great half of football for Jalen Hurts. He got delivered a ball from a Bryce Young turnover, and he had 40 yards to go, and they were able to do it. It's good stuff. But, I think there's something there to talk about. And I see you're saying you're not talking about me. I got you. There's a lot of people in the chat. But anyway, I don't think it's wrong to discuss that as an Eagles fan at all. Listen, I believe in the quarterback. I believe in this team like crazy, probably more than most do. I think this is a Super Bowl team, but you got to be able to come out and beat up on the Panthers, and I just don't see Jalen yet doing that at the start of games. Now, I think it's simply on just let Saquon run, but Eagles are going to do what the Eagles are going to do, and we will be here to analyze it all on JAKIB Sports. I appreciate you guys for being here. Hit that like button, and we will see you on the postgame show coming up. The second half is getting underway right now, and if we had to guess what would happen in the second half, Eagles are probably going to blow them out because they're a great second half team. They always are a great second half team. So we will see how this game unfolds. Enjoy the rest of the game, everybody. I appreciate you checking in on the halftime show on JAKIB Sports, and tune in right after the game for the JAKIB postgame show coming up. See you then, everybody.